good afternoon. Today is the 5th of November and this is Performance Remap in Gloucester and the Jeff Buys Cars Dyno Day. I have a separate video where Mr. Hunter and I sort of talk about, I don't know, what it means to run a YouTube channel and things like that, which will be part of the Very Vlog series, but we need to talk about really what we're doing here. So I haven't managed to film all the cars. I got a little bit late and Mr. Hunter and I got a bit waylaid, but we can talk about this 2002 Vauxhall Astra G. This is the Botany convertible version. It used to be a 1.8 Family 1 engine with 123 horsepower. It's been swapped out for the 2-litre turbo, which develops about apparently 218 horsepower. It's just been on the dyno. So yeah, as I did, I had a look on the website to find out what standard power was, and that is what it actually is making now. It's very nice condition. Are these Borbet alloy wheels or something? No, they're different, but they look like Borbet ones. So what we need to do actually is go inside and see what we've got first of all. And first of all is the Saab 9.3 Aero. It's a 2009. If we have a look inside, see what's sort of going on. It's a very nice condition. It's a very late facelifted one. I think the last ones was at 2011. This is a 2009. Oh, we've actually got the sort of curve on here. Mr. Hunter is filming on his sort of proper camera, whereas you know, I have not. Look at that. Engine power. Maximum on there is 248 horsepower. That's one powerful little Saab. Now I have driven one of these. I had terrible scuttle shake on it. It was the sort of least powerful one, a 1.8T. This being the Aero, yeah, about maybe 250, so that sounds about right. So we'll let Mr. Hunter get on with his proper video, and we shall go and have a look at what else is here. So we've got this E39 BMW 5 Series, which has had the Angel Eyes upgrade. That occurred in the middle of 2000, but this being on a T-plate is a 99. So we'll have a word when it's on the dyno, if it's not been on there already. So Mr. Hunter's just deciding which one to bring in. This C39 though is not an M5 or anything like that, unless it's had a badge delete or something. I really should have a go at one of these, shouldn't I, at some point? Then we've got an E46 M3, and it's got quite an interesting interior colour. This one. This isn't black interior. It's actually a red interior with a 6-speed manual. These are worth a lot of money these days, actually. If this is going in, I find out what year it is. It looks like a facelift to me, and actually this has been upgraded significantly. So yes, obviously lots of BMW, some of which we can't talk about, viewers, because we don't talk about diesels on this channel. I'm just giving Mr. Hunter a mug which says that, so there we go. So next we've got this 2023 BMW M5 competition. I've looked up the figures for this, and it says 617 horsepower. 617 horsepower as standard. It's only registered in June, so you know, I don't think it's going to be a lot of power loss in this. Someone's actually specified the lighter coloured interior, which of course I prefer, which is rather nice. Look at all these gadgets and things in this. So we've got, I wonder if we can hear the exhaust that sets off into the dyno area. Quad exhaust pipes, there we go. So we'll see a little bit later what that actually produces, but I'm imagining quite close to the official figure. That's probably the most powerful car that's actually here today. 2008 Subaru Impreza WRX STI. Now, I have driven one of these on a track. It was some time ago. It's about 5 years ago. 6-speed manual. Now this will be producing sort of over 200 horsepower, I think, as standard. It's obviously had a few modifications since then as well. The standard version of this I actually reviewed on Sensible Secondhand Reviews quite recently. It drives quite well. They're not bad cars to drive at all, but nowhere near the level of power that this thing has. Obviously, if that is in the running, we'll have a look at that and see what that puts out. But we've got a Ford Mustang, it's 2005, the GT. I imagine this is probably the V8 version. I don't think we have too many of these sort of V6s over here. Not imported officially. You could sort of get them through personal imports. That looks interesting. (2014) Jaguar XJR. Wow, this is I think about 400 horsepower or more in one of these. That is going to be very fast, but it goes onto the dyno, I believe. Very nice. Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution 8, 2005 to 6 registration. Again, I think this has probably been modified a bit. I've driven the Evolution 10, I haven't driven the Evolution 8. But yeah, I can see even through the grille that will be interesting. Then we've got BMW M4 here. I imagine that's not too old at all. I think the shape has literally just been replaced, actually. If this is for competition, it'll be even more powerful, but there we go. Yes, all sorts of interesting, more modern stuff. I'm hoping that this Jaguar XJR is going to be part of it's an X300 96-97 registration. They did produce, I think it was about 300 horsepower, one of these. Might be wrong, but that would be fun, wouldn't it? I wonder if this XKR is part of it. I'm not exactly sure. A lot of us have had to park around the back due to complaints from the owner of one of the other units, so it's not possible for me to tell you exactly sort of what's here at the moment. We'll have to go and have a look. So there's the Saab 9.3 Aero. It doesn't look like it's got 248 horsepower, but it does apparently. We just had it on the dyno. And then Mr. Hunter will be very kindly allowing me to have a go in a bit. So we will take a break here, viewers, and we'll go and see what's on the ramp now and what that crazy BMW M5 competition is putting out. So we've actually got the entire list here that Mr. Hunter's diligently collected for what cars are coming. So there's that M4 competition. It says it's 444 horsepower. Gentleman says it's got a bit more. T4, we can't talk about that. Subaru Impreza STI, so quite a lot more than the standard. It says 450 horsepower. The Evolution 8, 350. I actually put down 165 rather than 156, never mind. M3, that's already been on there. And the claimed horsepower, silver one there, 296. Then the M5 is on there at the moment. We'll have a look at that in a second. There's the E39 523i, it's a 523i with the Angel Eyes facelift. Someone's applied later. There was an 850 T5 here earlier on. It had 238, so it had more power than standard. And the Mustang, yeah, it's a 4.6. It is a V8, and so yes, that's going to be on a bit later. The XJR, we saw. I thought, yeah, 320 horsepower or thereabouts. It's actually making 245. It's done some stupid mileage. Then the Astra actually. Standard 2 litres, 198 horsepower. That's been modified to 220, producing 218. Saab actually could produce more power. I thought, yeah, it's 248, it's a lot. And then another XJR, which is at the back, the more modern one, 2014. 516 horsepower. Is it really that much? That's crazy. So we'll have a look, and got the BMW one there at the moment. We're going to have to sort of stand back out of here in a second because it's, well, going to be very, very loud. And I don't really want to damage my ears. Sir, that I think might have already won the day. We're only about a third through. So standard 617 at the flywheel.
Yeah.
706.
That's just nuts.
And it's not, I don't think it's been modified at all. I think it's bog standard.
An insane amount of power.
I mean, it's a, what's it, £70,000-80,000 car, but nevertheless.
It's a lot of power for the money.
I know, yeah, that's crazy. I remember when they were rejoicing when an A39 M5 got 400 horsepower.
It's alright.
That's crazy. Next we've got this 2005 Mustang. It is the V8, it's a 4.6. That is going to be interesting. Just getting the Mustang on here. They have to use these little mats sometimes because the bottom of the cars are sometimes very low. But that is quite a sight and quite a noise to see. You know, in America, I'm sure every single rolling road has had a million of these. But not the common car over here. So one of the best noises of the day, was putting out about 297 horsepower. Apparently when these were new, they were about 305. That's pretty good, to be honest. It's a very nice condition car, this. Obviously we're going for the figure at the flywheel. We're not, the wheel horsepower is what comes up on the screen initially. So we have to convert it down. But yeah, probably the nicest sounding thing of today. So 2008 Subaru Impreza WRX STI Type UK with a ProDrive sticker on it. I imagine these are quite a fixture over here. See how that goes. Goodness gracious me. 443 horsepower. This isn't standard at all. Standard on these would have been closer to about 300. Wow. So next, Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution 8 from about 2005. They didn't quite overlap with that generation of Impreza. They were the earlier version of the Evo, the Evo that you want to be the 10, which I've also driven on a track. But looks interesting. Right, well, see what happens with this Evolution 8. So we are 323. We're at this one top. Yeah.
So we're not a million miles.
323 horsepower at the flywheel.
Yeah.
With that one. It's a bit more than standard. The gentleman says it should be about 350, but you know, that's the way it goes sometimes. 2017 BMW M4 competition, which looks terribly big going through that gap there. Wow. Claim on this is standard 444 horsepower. He only says it'll do a bit more, about 477 he says. Interesting colour, this one. This has turned out to be the second modern performance BMW. but it's underquoted its brake horsepower output quite considerably. The maximum horsepower of this is not 444, it's 467. This car's totally unmodified, and actually on the rolling road, because you can see the speed that the car would be doing on the road, this actually hit its limiter at 155 miles an hour. And yeah, it's absolutely immaculate as well. So I've just looked up the figures for this 2014 Jaguar XJR. 543 horsepower, according to the manufacturer's figures. Is this the largest car here today?
It is the largest car.
543, according to the manufacturer's figures. 543.
543, is it?
543.
Right then.
I've just checked. That is a massive car. Is he going to get it through the door? It's a real shame, Mr. Hunter. You know, they were going to make a successor to this generation of XJ, but they cancelled it at the last minute.
It's a great shame, man.
I know, yeah, it is.
It's a bit Marmite though, the styling of this, wasn't it? After having generations of very good-looking XJs. It was a Marmite car.
I think in this colour and in this spec, it looks really good.
Yeah,
I'm not sure about the other specs.
I fully agree, they're quite sensitive to specifications.
Yeah, some cars are. Right, we'll see what happens. What a car. 528 horsepower. It's a little bit off the 543 that's claimed, but you know, there we go. 2008 Jaguar XKR. Now, the owner says it's 440 horsepower. I have just checked, the statistics say 410, but we'll see. We'll see what this actually puts out.
What's the spec on this, Joseph?
The owner says it's 440. My statistics say it's 410. We will see. We'll see. Yeah, it's a 2008. It's a personal plate.
It's another big power car, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a 4.2 V8 rather than the 5 litre, which is the other car.
Yeah.
But it still sounds great. So despite producing some glorious noise, I'm not filming all the cars when we're actually at full speed because it really hurts my ears. That's why the chaps in here wear the ear defenders. The top amount of horsepower at a flywheel with this one is 375. 375. Yeah, so I don't know quite what's happened. There could be any reason for that, but what an amazing car. The E46 M3 is just leaving. Unfortunately, we didn't capture that. This one, sadly, we can't talk about on the channel because it's got an engine which we are not able to discuss. So we shall now take a break. Next thing we've got is this 1999 BMW 523i E39. It has actually a 2.5, but it's badged as a 523. Interestingly, this car is rated at 168 brake horsepower, so it's almost exactly the same as my Volvo. The Volvo will be going after this, and this is a manual and mine's an automatic. The mileage is about the same. They're about 100 and mine's 107. This is about 100 and I think 120. So it's going to be interesting. I don't know what's going to happen. It's a competition for the lowest powered car between my Volvo and this, and we'll see what happens. So this car that was rated at 168 horsepower has just run 187 horsepower, and it's 24 years old. And for 8 years, this car didn't go anywhere. It stood in storage. And there you go. I'm a bit concerned now. I think I'm gonna lose. This is
I said the BMW would lose the most power. I'm very shocked.
I better go and get my car then, and I might be losing today. So here we are, viewers, just putting the car onto the dyno. The only problem is the manual mode in the gearbox doesn't work. There's some problem with the selector, and so the manual mode doesn't work. So this is going to be interesting. From the factory, this car was 167 horsepower. We will see what we'll see what happens. It might make quite a nice noise, but it won't be the nicest noise of the day. So the issue we've had with this car is because the manual mode is broken and nobody really, to be honest, would ever use it, nobody cares, the car won't hold in the lower gears. So the car's just gone right off the end of the speedometer to over 160 miles an hour, and it was still, the speed limit of whatever is how it's kicked in, and the car won't, it will rev really high. It revved up to 7,400 RPM. But it only produced 130 horsepower, and that's it. So that's the end of that. So that means that the next dyno day that's going to be held here, the cars will have to be all under 130 horsepower, because that's all the car will say it has. But there we go. Thank you ever so much indeed once again for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this car, and leave a comment below. And we shall see you again for more absolute and utter incompetence.